My daughter's father never called to wish my daughter a happy birthday. Let me surprise you guys. It stays 5 minutes away from me. But if I tell you that since this year, he hasn't called to check up on his daughter to ask about her well-being, he hasn't contributed a dime to her feeding or her school fees. This guy stays 5 minutes away from me. That aside, there's a lot of things I regret about motherhood, about single motherhood, and what have you. But before we dive into that, you people remember that Chloe ruined her birthday, and I was also extremely busy for her on that her birthday. So I decided to make this special rice for her. So let's dive in. While I tell you guys about what I regret most in life, in motherhood, and in single motherhood. One of the things I regret most in life, and one of the things I regret most in motherhood, is giving my daughter a deadbeat as a father. Growing up, I promised I was going to give my children a very good father, a father who loves them, who cares about them, and who would make them the center of his own life. So, in all my relationships, one of the things I always looked out for the most is this man a family man? Does this man love his family? Because I know if you love your family, you are going to love the one that you would create. And the reason for this is that growing up, I never had that fatherly love. I got adopted at the age of 4 by my dad's youngest sister, so I never had a personal relationship with my biological dad up till now. And about 2 years just after she adopted me, she also lost her husband. So for about 10 years, I was being raised with my other siblings by a single She remarried 10 years later, but there was no bond between her new husband and I. I was only given the soft life and my bills were just paid. So all through my life, there is no thing as a father figure or a fatherly love, which was why I promised myself that in anything I'm going to get in this life, in anything I'm going to give my kids, is going to be a man who would love them. So when I met my baby daddy, he was a family man, like a full-time family man. He loves his family and they were very, very close. By the time I found out I was pregnant, I knew we were not going to end up getting married. Neither did I ever want to get married to him as well. But I felt we were going to be good as co-parents, and I felt he was going to love his child just the way he loves his family. But like I said, I was very wrong. At first, it was the pregnancy, which was very rough as he never ever took care of me. But I felt it was just pregnancy. Probably when he gets to meet his daughter, he was going to love his daughter. But at the same time, I was wrong. He was not physically present, he was not mentally present, he was not emotionally present, he was not financially present. All this was what I complained about, but to him, he just felt everything was money and he claims he was always broke. And I never stopped to remind him that there are several ways in which you can feel love being a father, even if you don't have money. Because there are beggars, there are poor people who are finding it hard to eat, yet their family is still standing. But no, he still wouldn't budge and he kept on insisting that it was just about money. And talking about money, he was still constantly paying bills for his mom, his nieces, paying their school fees and what have you. But when it comes to his daughter, he would always claim he was broke. Honestly, I tried on my best just to make that cordial relationship between he and his daughter be natural, but like the Yorubas will say, you can only take a horse to the river, but you cannot force the horse to drink from the water. He was not ready to be a father, and I just decided to just let him be. Since the beginning of this year now, he hasn't called to check up on his daughter, see his daughter, or even send a penny for his daughter's up. Even on her birthday, he never called to wish her a happy birthday. Honestly, I feel like I failed my daughter, but one thing I know is that fatherly love doesn't necessarily have to come from one's biological father, and that love, I'm still going to let her get it. And if I thought I don't end up getting married, I'm going to love her twice as much and fill that void. Hello, mommy. I love you too, my baby.